In June of 1942, in the middle of World War II, there were a series of strange break-ins that took place in Pascagoula, Mississippi. I call them strange because none of these break-ins involved murder or sexual assault. Instead, it involved a man who would break into various homes over the course of a couple of weeks and steal locks of hair from young girls and women. Nicknamed the Phantom Barber, he would enter through the window, cut locks of hair from the victims without harming them, and leave through the same window. Although an arrest was made and the case was considered solved for a few years, the man was later released from prison after passing a lie detector test. So who was the Phantom Barber? The first of these break-ins took place on the 5th of June 1942. Two girls named Edna Mary Heidel and Mary Evelyn Briggs were sound asleep in Our Lady of Victory's convent when the intruder broke in, cut a lock of hair from each girl, and left through the window. Briggs, the only person to ever see the Phantom Barber in these series of break-ins, said the following: "I saw the figure of a kinda short, fat man bending over me with something shiny in his hand, and he was fooling with my hair. When he saw me open my eyes, he said shush. I yelled, he jumped out the window." The next of these break-ins would take place a few days later in the Petey family household. Carol Petey was asleep next to her twin brother, and she woke up to find locks of hair missing from her head. The intruder had made a cut in the window screen, which he used to enter and leave the Petey home. The break-in following this was nothing like the other two incidents, when the home of Mr. and Mrs. Heidelberg was invaded. The intruder in this case attacked the couple with an iron bar, knocking a few front teeth off Mrs. Heidelberg and striking her husband unconscious. Neither of the couple could describe anything about the attacker, as it all happened too fast. The last of these break-ins took place a few days later, when the intruder went back to cutting locks of hair, and the victim this time was a woman named Mrs. R.R. Taylor. Mrs. Taylor later gave an account that she got woken up by a strange smell, where she then got seriously ill. Police later reported that he likely used a chloroform rag to cover the woman's face before cutting the hair he needed. So I mentioned before that an arrest was made, and the case was temporarily deemed solved. The man arrested was a German-born 57-year-old chemist named William Dolan. There were a couple of points that made the police link these break-ins to William Dolan. Firstly, the police had found a possible motive behind his attack on the Heidelberg couple. Over a legal issue, Dolan had a grudge against Mr. Heidelberg's father, and it is thought that he then attacked the Heidelberg couple for revenge. Secondly, a bundle of human hair was found close to Dolan's home. Although he claimed that he was innocent throughout the whole process, he was sentenced to 10 years in jail for attempted murder, but was not charged with the crimes relating to cutting and stealing hair from the women. He was released 6 years later after passing a lie detector test. After his release, many started wondering if William Dolan really was the Phantom Barber of Pascagoula. Dolan was arrested at a time when fear grew in the town due to these break-ins, and there was a mounting pressure on the police to catch the culprit. The fact that he was linked to Germany in the middle of World War II didn't help him in this case either. Therefore, it is theorized that the police had planted their hair near Dolan's home for an easier arrest. Some theorize that Dolan was indeed responsible for the attack on Mr. and Mrs. Heidelberg, but didn't have anything to do with the hair-stealing incidents. The Heidelberg break-in was unlike the other break-ins, and appears to have been fueled by something outside stealing some locks of hair. If this was the case, then who really was the Phantom Barber, and most importantly, what were they doing with all that hair? Thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like as it helps the channel out a lot, and maybe consider subscribing if you want to see similar content like this in the future.